I'm Janelle Nanos, business reporter with the Boston Globe, and this is Bold Types, Conversations with Boston's Business Leaders. Today, I'm talking with Segun Idowu, the Chief of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion for the City of Boston. Segun, thank you so much for having us come into your office, and I'm excited to hear more about your plans for the city. Your title is a different title, and I wanted to ask first about that. It used to be the Office of Economic Development, but now it's the Office of Opportunity and Inclusion. Tell me a little bit about how that sort of sets your course and your path for this work.
Sure. When I talked with the mayor, with Mayor Wu about taking this position, we talked a lot about how residents react and respond to even the term development and what it meant for our communities. And the fact, was that a lot of folks had a visceral reaction because what development meant was that they could not stay in the neighborhoods that they helped to build and create and sustain. So, for myself and Mayor Wu, we decided that before anyone meets me or anyone on our team, they should know what it is that we're doing and who we're doing it for. And so we changed that name.
One of the things I know you've been working on are the Spaces grants, which are generating opportunities for business owners to get into retail spaces that might have been turned over in the course of COVID, or getting people who wanted to start a business but maybe didn't have the wherewithal to do that. The Spaces grant program has now been in place for long enough that I hope you can tell us a little bit more about how effective it's been. What are you seeing out of the program so far?
The vision of the OEOI cabinet, or the EOI cabinet, is one of a sustainable, vibrant, equitable city. One that does two things that I think is really important. First is centering people, and then the other piece is creating opportunities to build generational wealth. I say that to say that the space program has been really popular because it is responding to what we were hearing in the community. Then all of a sudden we had access to this money from the federal government, ARPA, and so built this program with $9 million to not just give out small $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 grants, but these are grants that you can get awarded up to $200,000. And it wasn't just the money, it was the assistance that we provide too.
I love that mission. How many people have gotten the grants now? How many people have been slotted in?
Through the life of the program, 90 businesses got this grant, $10 million overall. 75% of awardees are businesses owned by people of color, 65% women, 20% identify as immigrant-owned. When you support small businesses, you're creating jobs, you're providing value for our communities and for our families.
Right now, you guys aren't necessarily just treating the market as a place to shop, but it's also a place to incubate. And increasingly, you're actually slotting some of your businesses in with the space grant into the market, if I understand correctly. Tell me more about how that's working.
Well, so this is one of my favorite spots in the market, Moroccan Fusion. It's not why they got selected. However, they applied for the space grant, and they've been doing a fantastic job here. And as a result of applying and having the best application, they're going to be moving into a larger facility. And so it's helping us test this idea of exactly what you said. The market is not just a space for all of us to congregate and support businesses, it's an incubator of ideas, but also opportunities.
Boston has not had the most robust nightlife reputation for a long time. There's a nightlife czar now. We have other things that are sort of in place to help make that story change. Has it changed yet?
We were very happy to bring Corinne Reynolds on as the director of the nightlife economy. Her task, though, as the director, is not to make sure that we have more clubs in the city, but rather to help also redefine what is nightlife. Nightlife is not just going to a bar and drinking and eating and then going home. The mayor has talked often in some of her recent speeches about, we can say that we're the safest city in the country, but the way that we really know is, people will be in the Seaport or other places and they see people with their pushing strollers around, at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. That's how you know it's a safe city, because people are comfortable going out.
Yes, there are many ways of going out and celebrating and seeing the city, but for businesses, there's really only one way to make money, and that is having a liquor license, which has been a huge, huge hurdle for so many small businesses. This new tranche of liquor licenses coming out right now is pretty game-changing. How does it meet the goals that you've set out for yourself in terms of having the opportunities that, again, have evaded for so many for so long?
We are building on the legacy of Congresswoman Presley, who 10 years ago led this fight to get liquor licenses to communities of color. And I think we have learned, we've learned from that effort on how to improve how we ensure we reach that goal. So this time around, I think, has ensured that there are a specific number of licenses per neighborhood that we are trying to make sure are impacted, that they're guaranteed to be there. And then, there are some that are going to have that $600,000 value that is our fun job to figure out how we equitably disperse these licenses across the city and getting them into the hands of people who could really use a ticket to, it's a leg up into the middle class. Boston believes in equity, in particular racial equity, and we want to use the tools and resources we have to advance that agenda, and that is not going to go away when it comes to these liquor licenses.
So when you think about Boston being a place you want to be, that also extends to major businesses. And you've scored some wins. You've got some Legos right there. So that's an exciting one. Tell me more about that big picture take. How do you ensure that more people want to come here, bring their jobs here, bring their companies here, fill some of the empty office space perhaps that we've got? That's another big piece of this puzzle.
When we were talking with Lego as they were figuring out where they wanted to be, one of the biggest things they shared with us about why they want to be here is Mayor Wu's vision. The focus on supporting young people, the focus on play, the focus on making Boston a home for everyone. All of these things resonated with them and with their employees. And this is true across the board for companies that have chosen Boston as their headquarters. And for those who are either growing or expanding their companies here in the city. It all comes down to their employees want to be here.